Charlottesville is interesting, I think, because there's certainly a troubled racial history in this part of Virginia.
We have certainly become ground zero for the forces of intolerance.
This is not a big community. We're only, 45,000 people, for heaven's sake. We're a small university town.
I think that it's more important for us to encourage the members of the university community to engage with Charlottesville than to tell them how to do it.
It's much bigger than the statues. The statues, political correctness, all of that is a proxy for the oldest conversation in the country, which is like, how do we want to feel about race?
These monuments were installed in the 1920s, right when the Klan was getting organized here locally and nationally. The installation of these monuments served to mark these parks as whites-only public spaces that were in the central part of the town.
Created a Blue Ribbon Commission on race memorials in public spaces that was charged with the mission of changing the narrative in Charlottesville by telling the full story of race through our public spaces. But it had also put us on the map of a lot of organizations today on the right wing that don't like this enterprise at all. They don't want the truth told about race. They don't want the narrative changed.
Part of what happened was that more people in the community, I think, became aware of the history of our town with respect to racial demographics and slavery.
And Charlottesville has a particularly racially charged history that does go back to Thomas Jefferson and his slave plantation that we celebrate and we put on the stickers everywhere. And it goes back to UVA, which is built by slaves, and it goes back to some of the really awful housing conditions for the black members of the Charlottesville community.
No Nazis, no KKK, no fascist USA!
The sense of African American citizens in the community that glorifying these Confederate heroes glosses over the cause of slavery that they were fighting for. It was clear in the Klan rally that they saw the removal of the statues as something symbolic of a far larger and to them more threatening issue, which was the removal of white history.
Popularity and support for the alt-right has probably been the most surprising and troubling thing that I've noticed this summer, because you think the KKK comes to town, everyone is on the same page, the KKK is bad, but then you see people, community members just like those rallying and protesting, other community members who come with Confederate flags and just the most awful things on their t-shirts and screaming things at people and making themselves heard, and you realize that voice is equally present.
Here you see a clash of red and blue cultures in a way that you don't in a lot of places. In 2013, I appointed the President's Commission on Slavery in the University precisely to look at the part of our history we didn't know. At the last board meeting, the board approved the conceptual design for a memorial to enslaved laborers, which would be located at the part of the university most closely, just geographically closest to the Charlottesville community, a kind of symbolic link between the community and the university.
There should be more connection between the enslavement in the past and its continuing effects in the present. We have the majority of workers at the university in the service sector do not earn a living wage. We have very high rates of poverty in this town. And this is effectively a company town. The university is the largest employer. It's a little tense right now. It was tense in the build-up to the visit of the KKK on July the 8th. Then the full realization, sunk in that now we have August the 12th to deal with, and we know that that's going to be worse.
It's easy to not be nervous when it's far away, but as the calendar kind of ticks away, I am a little uneasy because these are different people.
Because these folks are the Klan. You need to know they're walking among us. They live among us. They threaten our neighbors.
I think that they exist in part to be provocative. I think they exist in part to have people take the bait. I think that there is, at some level, a desire for violence. And that is what I think we have to be on our guard about. One thing that's important to me is that our students, in expressing their civic engagement, remain safe. And that will be my principal concern about this upcoming rally. For my own part, I would, just prefer these people not get a bigger audience.
A commitment to de-escalation and non-confrontation on the part of the police is not.
In terms of what's going to happen on August the 12th, I'm really concerned because of the persistent escalation of police tactics. We already have a milieu here over the past, several years. I mean, Martise Johnson, a University of Virginia student, was attacked by agents of the alcohol beverage control.
I guess summer was a pretty clever time for these people to decide to come. I think that I would like to see that awareness and that vigilance in the face of white supremacy and contemporary racism. I want to see that carry over into the fall, with student activism continuing to cooperate with local activism and not just in times of crises.